Okay, we're going to start with the nation. How federal government plans to raise 36.35 trillion revenue by Bagudu. 4 airlines to lift 2025 pilgrims. Oyo agog as Alaafin gets staff of office. Why Lagos Speaker Obasa was removed. ISOP kills 50 farmers in Borno. Air Force probes Zamfara accidental bombing. Anyanwu back as PDP National Secretary. And why Tinubu should intervene in AMCON and firms disputes. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I have that story, and it's something bordering on the abuse of rule of law. So, according to the nation, there's a Supreme Court judgment, voiding AMCON taking over this particular business called Suru Worldwide Venture, and it was because of a loan that they're taking from the defunct Oceanic Bank, which is, on paid back, and so AMCON took it over. They've been in court. The Federal High Court had ordered that AMCON should take it over, but the company went on appeal. The appeal court voided it. The Supreme Court upheld that, and that's rule of law. That's basic. End of story. They have dismissed that the AMCON should take it over. Until date, AMCON has refused to review it or give it back to the company. Just reading it is just heartbreaking for me, because we're discussing, self-help yesterday, and when there's a court order, it's because we don't respect. And it starts from leadership. Yeah. You will see some House of Assembly, court will rule A, court will rule B. They will say no, and this is just heartbreaking. AMCON is a statutory body created by law and should know better, But they are now calling on the president in the story.
I don't know how
unnecessary.
When the system should work.
The system should work. Institutions should work. But now, maybe the president now will come beyond the Supreme Court to come and talk to AMCON, because that's what they're calling.
Our mentality.
The president should come in and intervene.
Okay, let me take your state. So yesterday, amid fun fair, the people of your town welcomed the Alaafin Oba Abimbola Owade to the ancient city for the very first time. This followed presentation of instruments of office to him by the governor, Seyi Makinde. Owade became the 46th Alaafin of Oyo, more than 2 years after Balamidi Adeyemi joined his ancestors. The atmosphere in the town was electric as residents and dignitaries gathered to celebrate the significant moment. In preparation for the monarch's arrival, markets, including the historic Akeson market, was shut down. Residents lined up major roads leading up to the palace, and the monarch's family house inaugurated. They were eager to catch a glimpse of the monarch. It was really exciting. I really like these monarch stories where there's a new king being crowned, and really, I think now he's going to go through the rites now that he's been given the staff of office.
That's the one that's
so he'll knock on those 7 doors.
That's the one that's paining me. This preceding.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the story of Zulum. All these, the new ISWAP, we have the Boko Haram, we have all of that. They are just, forming more and more groups. They said that the governor condemned Sunday's attack on farmers and fishermen by suspected members, that's the ISWAP, at Dumba Kukawa local government area. They said sources explained that the farmers negotiated payment of levies to a faction of ISWAP to enable them to access their farmlands. So these ISWAPs now, they're in groups. So they were able to negotiate with them and pay them some certain amount of money. But unknowingly to them, the other group didn't know. So those other groups, they were unaware of the agreement, ambushed and killed some of the farmers. Some of the farmers fled into the bush and all. So they said that the State's Commissioner for Information and Internal Security said that that efforts by the government were underway to trace the survivors and reunite them with their families. But then the governor also called on the military to pursue and neutralize the insurgents in Dumba and other places in the Lake Chad area. He also ordered that residents should adhere to the safe corridors demarcated by security agencies to avoid such risks from happening. So he said that there's some parts of the farmland that they should be on, and there are some that the ISWAP, they're around that area and it's not safe. Okay, yesterday I had taken the story of the bombing, accidental bombing or allegations of accidental bombing that happened in Zamfara after an airstrike by Nigerian Air Force. So the Nigerian Air Force has launched an investigation into the alleged bombing of vigilantes while targeting the bandits in Zamfara state. So it's meant to first ascertain the veracity of the allegation, the outcome of which will be duly communicated to inform and reassure the public. So the operation
they said was successfully eliminated several bandits and also led to recovery of some kidnapped victims. But then the Nigerian Air Force started hearing, the allegations of the bombings of civilians, and they're saying that those who were affected by this bomb, the Saturday hit, was the Zamfara Community Protection Guard, ZCPG, local vigilantes and residents, and as I took the story yesterday, sadly 16 people, civilians died from that. So they're going to look into it and determine whether it was true or not. It's really sad, because we know that our military was working hard to protect these people, and then sometimes this collateral damage happens, and it's quite sad.
Moving on now to The Punch. Inside story, how hubris intrigues power play sealed Obasa's fate. Depots raise petrol price to 950 naira per litre. Again, Boko Haram strikes in Borno, kills 40 and abducts scores. Port Harcourt rehabilitation delayed. Port rehabilitation actually delayed despite $700 million loan. Tariff hike. Telcos, ICT firms owe banks 1.69 trillion. Gospel singer arrested with severed core members' head in Nasarawa. Coronation date fixed as Alaafin designates guest staff of office. Tax bills, Senate meets federal government teams, plans public hearing. Okay, which story?
Okay, so I have the story of the increase in the price of petrol. As they said, the depots have increased their prices. They said the loading cost of premium, that's petrol products at the depots, increased on Monday. They gathered that the marketers raised their prices for a depot from 43 or 4.74% due to the rising cost of crude oil. Meanwhile, globally, the benchmark of crude oil has rose up to 79.76 per barrel. They also said that, so they now listed some of the depots, like Swift Depot. It increased its price from 907 to 950 per litre. We have Wasbab Depot from 909 to 950. We also have Sahara Depot from 910 to 950. And also, they also said that the Dangote refinery, they said they sold petrol to their retailers at 899 naira, but they are selling at 923 naira per litre, despite picking the products at that low rate. They also said that for diesel, that the prices for Stock Gap Depot, they increased their price from 1,008 naira to 1,150. So they are now saying that we should expect that prices of petrol is going to go up. So definitely, goods and services are going to, price of goods and services are going to go up.
I bought a pint of tomatoes, 5,000 naira yesterday. Before I bought like 14,000 and 12,000. Yesterday I was just, so tomatoes and
even seasonal.
Yeah, I think it's seasonal.
Seasonal.
Peppers was quite affordable.
How about onions? Did you buy
onions? The paint is 10,000 naira.
Still. Okay.
Yeah, and
it's
yeah,
still high.
Still high. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.